to move forward in the future. So with that being said, are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Mr. Danny Wayman?
This might take a second, I'm sorry. For the record, I'm Adam Daniel Wayman, class of 2012, School of Public Affairs. So you guys just saw like a lot of like anger and confrontation and like problems. That happens because you need to talk to people. I understand it can be really frustrating as a new senator, or perhaps as one who's recently retired and doesn't get meeting packets anymore, to understand
on the website.
Yeah, thanks, man. To understand what's going on in the student government. It's a really big organization. We handle over $600,000. We've got dozens of committees and old committees and abandoned bylaws and bills, and it's hard to keep track of. But put bluntly, the way to understand it is not really to confront people on the floor of the Senate. The floor of the Senate, being as it is, probably one of the most powerful spaces in the student government, where you can direct people to do almost anything. If you have a 2/3 vote, almost anything can happen. It's a place where people get tense really fast. So what I recommend you do is you go into that AUSG email and you go to the G chat and you invite like everyone whose name you can remember. And then you start talking to them. Or you go into your office hours, and you talk to people. The single reason that I voted for the bill to mandate office hours last year was to force people to be in the office next to executives so you can talk to them. This will make everything much better. It's how a lot of good things happen. It's how we avoid problems. I also just quickly wanted to let you guys know, I know during kind of hushed discussion of Crump and what it did and whether it was relevant and what we could accomplish, I really want to remind you guys that this student body can do amazing things. Less than a decade ago, we got a president fired, and we got the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee to audit AU's finances. Half the reason that happened is because our SG president, Kyle Taylor, was like, hi, this is really weird, and it's bad, and someone should look at it. And Chuck Grassley was like, okay, I got that. One of the most powerful senators in the United States. Okay? And it's little things, too. Gender-neutral housing, 4 or 5 years ago, didn't exist. Student government was like, we should work on that. They passed a few bills, they talked to people, and now, you know, if Brett really wanted to, he could live with a girl on the first floor of Centennial. It's pretty cool. You can do it. Just reach out, talk to some people, and think about how you can accomplish things.
Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak? Ms. Mooney?
Hi everyone, I'm Adam Lee. I just wanted to take a moment to say hello to everyone. I am the student government beat reporter for the Eagle, so just so you know, just so you're familiar with who I am, I might be emailing you at some point in time. If you ever have something that you feel the Eagle should know, please feel free to come talk to me. Also, I will be approaching you, so don't be shy.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak?
Hi, okay. Sorry.
No, I wasn't speaking. I was going to
okay.
come talk to you.
I forgot to say this earlier, and it's not a big deal because it's really not important. But I really like the color code. And in case you didn't notice, Eric and I are both wearing green today. I was just trying to not to just because he had like the gift of knowing which color I picked. So, yay. Okay, so, and Anna in the back, what I told her to do. Okay, so I'm going to start including the color in the minutes when I send them out. So if you want the color, it would like really make me really happy. You don't have to. Oh, and the other thing is too is I was asked about the dress code, and we highly, highly encourage. In fact, there was something passed making it required that you wear business casual. Doesn't mean you have to come in like a three-piece suit. Although if you're asking me, none of you will anyway.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. He always looks great. Is my point. So just please look decent. If you do come in your pajamas or like something that's
Do not come in your
inappropriate.
pajamas.
If you come in dressed inappropriately, Mr. Speaker, hopefully will ask you to leave and change and come back. That's all.
Unless it's 11 p.m. impeachment.
It's still not appropriate then. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Oh, now we'll take a list for good of the order. Mr. Dunham, Mr. Yates, Mr. Bell, Mr. Attanasio, and myself. Oh, does everybody understand good of the order? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, allow me to say what good of the order is. Good of the order is basically a wrap-up for each Senate session. For the 5th undergraduate Senate, it was like, hey guys, thanks for working with me. Or the chairmans that are elected, I would suggest, would say, hey guys, thanks for electing with me, can't wait to work with you. Basically, good of the order is when you can get out anything, what you're feeling about the meeting, what you're feeling about the Senate, what you're feeling about us moving forward. So that's what good of the order is.
And it's optional.
Yeah, I would actually encourage you guys to actually start communicating with each other, say what you feel. It'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it.
It's like public comment for people with speaking units.
Again. So, Mr. Denman, would you like to be added?
No, I want to point of information actually.
Yes, sir.
How do the new senators get in contact with you for committee assignments?
Yes, I was about to get to that to go to the order, but allow me to elaborate right now. Email me at speaker@ausg.org with your committee preference.
There's only 2 to choose from.
The committee for the committee on campus life and programming, and the committee on students' rights, university affairs, and academics. If you don't email me and I don't take your preference down, I will assign you a committee. And I will do my best to assign each member their preference, but there will be fairly large committees, and we can't have everyone on one committee, unfortunately. Mr. Athanasi, do you have a question?
Sorry, I do. When are we going to be electing members of the budget committee?
Yes, very important point to raise that I was also going to talk about.
Sure you were.
Yeah, actually I was, Doug. I was going to talk about during the order. The Special Committee on the Budget is the most highly revered committee in the undergraduate Senate, and its membership is not appointed, but rather elected. So we will be doing that, I believe, not at the next scheduled meeting in the undergraduate Senate, but potentially the meeting after that,
Halloween?
or the first week of November.
We're not going to have 2 weeks. We're going to skip meetings 2 weeks in a row.
No, we're not going to skip meetings 2 weeks in a row. We will not be having a meeting over fall break this Sunday. We will be having a meeting on the 24th and then on the 31st.
Just not the budget committee when you guys are all dressed up.
All right, yeah. Anywho, Mr. Donovan, please. Who's this?
He was, one year he actually brought a picture of his closet to prove that he was the most well-dressed member of student government ever.
As a matter of fact, the Senate ordered me to do so.
Oh.
It was
And then we play intramural volleyball.
kind of funny. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, members of the dais, distinguished senators, and also distinguished executives and executive members of the cabinet. I come before you today as the president of the Residence Hall Association, bringing greetings from the Residence Hall Association and the seventh session of the General Assembly, of which your own speaker is a member.